Good afternoon, it's Thursday, September 18th, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this afternoon, Governor Fubara loyalists besiege Rivers Government House gate. Rivers Assembly holds first plenary after emergency rule. 10 FIRS United Capital staff members die in Afriland Towers fire in Lagos State. On the foreign scene, world leaders in New York next week for UN General Assembly as Gaza-Ukraine war rages. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now, crowds of supporters are currently marching along Azikiwe Road in Rivers State, celebrating the return of the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara. Different groups are seen, with some women's groups dressed uniformly in red. Some others groups are in front of the main gate of the government house. Our correspondent Ifechukwu reports that different music bands and groups are seen singing and dancing in celebration of the governor's reinstatement. Some allies of the governor, including former commissioners Evans BP, Solomon Abel Eke, Chisom Wale, and Prince Emejuru, former local government chairman Ezebunwa Ichemati, Chijoke Ihunwo, Promise Reginald, Peter Amakri, a pro-Fubara lawmaker Sokari Goodboy, and many others were also seen celebrating alongside the group. Emejuru, a former commissioner for physical planning and urban development, spoke to correspondent Ifechukwu.
Rivers is organically happy. We are happy that Siminalayi Fubara has been reinstated. Look at the street and everything. You know who is the leader in Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara Joseph. Well, Sim has been reinstated today, and Siminalayi Fubara is with us today. And you can see that he's here. Rivers people represent Siminalayi Fubara. Siminalayi represent Rivers people.
Former Commissioner for Power Solomon Eke says the spontaneous and unorganized celebrations being witnessed today are proof of the strong support Rivers people have for the governor.
Well, everybody is happy with what is happening now. You can see it's a spontaneous action. You understand? It's not organized. People just came out on their own because of the announcement. So the Rivers people are happy.
Also, the immediate past Ahoda East Council Chairman Enzo Chibudom expressed confidence that the governor will not sideline his supporters.
Every Riversman has special love for the governor. We are all gathered here. In fact, we will continue to stand by him come day, come night. The governor has a lot of program for us, including the ones he has done before. And we wish him well as he returns back today. Now that he's back, let us watch to see how he's going to run. But everybody should have confidence in the governor. He's a man you can trust any day, anytime.
Some women leaders tell our correspondent why they gathered to celebrate the reinstatement of the governor.
We're here to welcome the golden governor, the peaceful governor, the best governor in Nigeria, Governor Siminalayi Fubara. We're waiting to receive him. We have not slept. The women of Rivers State have been praying since 18th of March when this pronouncement was made. We're here to receive our governor, the savior to Rivers State. We have been praying, like she said. We have been waiting for this day for him to come back, and to God be the glory, he's back. So we have come to receive him wholeheartedly and to show the world how we love him, how he has made an impact in our lives.
Some Rivers youth also spoke.
We are excited to welcome our governor back to governing the state. He's a good man. When a good man rules, the people rejoice. So that's why all of us are excited.
He's the democratically elected governor of Rivers State. For the past 6 months, we have not been ourselves. Rivers State will come back to its normal state. He's a peace icon. Unlike other persons, they would have fought to remain in power. But, because of his personality, he has taken Rivers State as first. He has not taken his own personal interest as to lead. That is why we are all here.
As you may know, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy Ngozi Odo, and the members of the Rivers State House of Assembly are expected to resume today after their 6-month suspension by President Bola Tinubu. Meanwhile, vehicles are now being turned back from using the Azikiwe Road leading to the Rivers State Government House. The situation has forced many commuters to trek long distances to their destinations. Security operatives stationed at strategic points along the road are also struggling to manage the situation. Late yesterday, the former sole administrator of River State, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, handed over power to Governor Siminalayi Fubara and said law and order had been restored in the state. In a statewide broadcast, Ibas said his time in office was about restoring the dignity of the state, not serving personal interests.
I thank you, the people of River State, resilient, patient, and hopeful. You stood firm through the storm and believed in the possibility of renewal. This journey was never about one man. It was about restoring dignity to governance and giving you back what is rightfully yours. The Garden City must never lose its fragrance.
Ibas noted that the achievement recorded under his watch reflected the determination of Rivers people who did not want to see their state drift into paralysis.
The mandate has been accomplished. Law and order have been restored. Local government elections have been conducted. Statutory boards and commissions have been reconstituted. The state budget has been passed by the National Assembly. These are milestones of progress that belong to all of us because they reflect the resilience of a people determined never to let their state slip into paralysis.
He urged citizens to rally behind Governor Siminalayi Fubara to ensure his success in office.
I hug the race of leadership to His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara. I do so with confidence and respect. I urge all Rivers people to support him wholeheartedly because leadership and followership is a shared responsibility. No matter how competent and no matter how clear a vision may be, it can only come to fruition and thrive with the active support of citizens. For me,
the former administrator also commended the people of River State, his aides, security agencies, and the president for the support he enjoyed during his tenure. However, before Ibas bowed out, he carried out one last assignment. He swore in Iyingi Brown as the substantive head of service. In his speech, he praised Brown as a thoroughbred professional who is critical in her thinking.
And for our new head of service, you will all agree that she certainly deserves the recognition. A thoroughbred professional, courageous and dogged fighter for the civil service, I must confess that I benefited immensely from her wealth of experience and great institutional memory. Her insights and critical thinking on all matters affecting the state is quite inspiring. Madam Head of State, our service, I trust that you will continue to distinguish yourself in the discharge of your duties.
Well, reacting to this, a rights activist, Charles Jaja, criticized the move, saying it is worrisome. In an interview, Mr. Jaja said the action seeks to promote favoritism over merit and seniority.
Ibok Abbas just wants to create problem for Governor Siminalayi. If not, why would he make such an appointment in the midnight of his moving out of government house? And I think the onus is on Governor Siminalayi Fubara to uphold integrity in civil service by removing Iyingi Brown as head of service, whose elevation did not follow the rule of civil service. This is not about witch hunting. It's about maintaining integrity and to demonstrate commitment in transparency in governance, that which seeks to promote favoritism over merit and seniority.
In the meantime, the Rivers State House of Assembly began its post-emergency plenary this morning. The sitting came following the lifting of the emergency rule by President Bola Tinubu and the resumption of democratic governance in the state. The plenary took place at the conference hall located within the legislative quarters and was presided over by the Speaker, Martins Amihule. In a related development, the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has praised President Bola Tinubu for lifting the state of emergency in Rivers State. Wike says the president's action has restored democratic governance and renewed the people's confidence in his leadership. In a statement by his aide, Lere Olayinka, Wike commended Rivers residents for supporting the president's effort to restore peace and progress. He called on all stakeholders to work together in the interest of the state and its people. The minister also warned troublemakers to stay away, insisting Rivers will now only produce news of peace, progress, and development. We're going to a short commercial break. When we return, 10 FIRS United Capital staff members die in Afriland Towers fire in Lagos State. Stay with us. Hope Ikiriko as chairman of the governing council of Captain Ilichi Amadi Polytechnic is a recognition of his leadership qualities, expertise, and service to society. Honorable Epele congratulated Dr. Ikiriko on the appointment, describing it as a well-deserved honor. Now, he says the new chairman will bring vision and experience that will help drive progress at the institution. The Ahoda West Council boss also expressed optimism that Dr. Ikiriko's leadership will inspire innovation and excellence at the Polytechnic. Now, he pledged the support and goodwill of the people of Ahoda West local government area as Dr. Ikiriko takes on the new responsibility. Well, away from that, the President General of Ohanese Ndigbo Worldwide, Senator John Azota Mbata, has called on the federal government to release the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, to enable him to seek proper medical attention. Azota Mbata said this in a short video message of himself speaking. Now, he also called on Igbo people across the country to ensure they register in the ongoing voters registration exercise and obtain their voter cards. To education stories now. History has returned as a subject in Nigeria's basic school curriculum after nearly 2 decades since its removal. The Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, said the subject will be compulsory for all students from primary 1 to junior secondary school 3. Now, he said the policy move is to nurture national identity, unity, patriotism, and responsible citizenship among young Nigerians. The minister described history as not just a record of the past, but also a vital tool for shaping responsible and patriotic citizens. Away from that, 10 staff members of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, and the United Capital PLC died in a widely reported fire at Afriland Towers on Broad Street, Lagos on Tuesday. The deaths have been confirmed in separate statements by the FIRS and United Capital PLC. While FIRS said it lost 4 of its staff members, UCP, on the other hand, lost 6 staff to the incident. The victims were working on the 6th and 7th floor of the building, which houses 2 FIRS offices, when the tragedy occurred. And now we go straight to business. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has directed all domestic systemically important banks, DSIBs, to announce the successors of their managing directors and chief executive officers at least 6 months before the expiration of the incumbent's tenure. The directive was contained in a circular issued by the Director of Financial Policy and Regulation Department, Rita Sike. The Apex Bank further mandated that banks must publicly disclose the appointment of successor MD CEOs at least 3 months before the outgoing chief vacates office. According to the CBN, the move is anchored on Section 2.14 of its 2023 Corporate Governance Guidelines, which require commercial, merchant, non-interest, and payment service banks to maintain clear leadership succession plans. In entertainment, Tubaba's wife, Natasha Osawaru Idibia, showered Nigerian music legend Tubaba with a deeply personal birthday tribute today. In a post, she called him the love of her life and thanked God for the joy he has brought into her world. And now in sports, midfielder Cole Palmer says Chelsea do not see this season's Champions League campaign as a learning curve because they want to be competitive in a straight way. Because they want to be competitive in it straight away. Enzo Maresca's side was second best as they lost 3-1 to a more experienced Bayern Munich side at Allianz Arena on Wednesday. It was Chelsea's first appearance in the Champions League since April 2023.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
World leaders will gather in New York next week for a UN General Assembly. The gathering is expected to be dominated by the U.S. President Donald Trump's return to the rostrum, war in Gaza and Ukraine, rise in Western recognition of Palestinian statehood, and nuclear tensions with Iran. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said they are gathering in turbulent, even uncharted waters. As you may know, the UN General Assembly will hold 6 days of speeches by nearly 150 heads of state or government, along with dozens more ministers.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap of the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major headlines. Governor Fubara's loyalists besieged the Rivers Government House gate this morning. The Rivers State House of Assembly is holding its first plenary after emergency rule. You also heard that 10 FIRS and United Capital staff members died in the Afriland Towers fire in Lagos State. On the foreign scene, you heard world leaders will be in New York next week for the UN General Assembly as Gaza-Ukraine war rage. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.